is that one of the reasons that we're doing our academic discussion is because you as students and as productive, educated, intelligent citizens of the United States of America need to know how to engage effectively in collaborative discussions. Collaborative means you're discussing with other people because that's what intelligent, educated people do. And you, 6.1a here, come to discussions prepared, which is what you have in front of you. You have prepared your thoughts about wonder, about the conflict, about the theme, about the importance of perspective. So you can, like it says here, explicitly draw on that preparation by referring to it, what you have in front of you about the issue. I'm going to skip this one for right now. Pose and respond to specific questions with elaboration and detail. So you're not going to say, what did you get? I got this, and then put it down. It's not a question-answer discussion. It's a true discussion where you bounce ideas off of each other. We do like we do on a daily basis and use our discussion connectors. So we're listening for what someone is saying and seeing how we can connect our thoughts to that. Okay, so not a question-answer, but a true discussion. Another thing, I'm going to go back up to B here. Follow the rules for collegial discussions, like college, but really just educated discussions, is that you take turns. You don't yell at one another. You don't butt in when someone else is speaking. And here, because you all are leading this conversation, not Mrs. Hartwig, you're speaking to one another. Would you raise your hand if you were just talking to a friend? No. Yeah. So you can wait your turn. You don't have to raise your hand, but if a lot of people look like they want to speak, you might wave at someone or something to let them know, I want to speak too. Give me some time. Okay. And then review key ideas expressed to demonstrate understanding of multiple perspectives, meaning all of your perspectives. You want to come to a collective idea and understanding about what you're talking about. Okay? So, as the outside circle is silent, listening for the good information and the good communication skills, discussion skills that the inside circle is using, the inside circle will be carrying on that conversation. And since I'm not leading the conversation, you're speaking to one another, how do you start that conversation?
Your sentence starters?
Sure. Who does that? Someone will need to step up and be a leader, right? Yeah. I'm not going to assign anyone. You guys all have your good academic, educated relationships together, and you can start that conversation. All right. Questions before we start? Yes.
If they say something good, will we be allowed to use it?
Oh, in your next discussion? Oh, that's fantastic. You can always launch off of something that someone else had said, even if it's in a different round. Good job. All right, so you may begin. You will have 7 minutes for your discussion. Then we'll reevaluate and switch groups to have 7 more minutes. Okay? Yeah.
What do we exactly talk about?
What are you talking about? Okay, well, purchase a farm. Purchase it. What are we supposed to be talking about?
Yeah.
Like our discussion, like on paper. With your sentence starters.
What's that?
Well, right here. The sentence starters, like, not okay. They're all just looking at you. Well, me. Okay. I don't know. What? So you're saying? I don't know.
This says the theme is Augie going to school and what was that? I think it was a B and his life.
I see it. What?
I don't know. It just was this.
I agree with that. Because I put down, even if you're going through a rough time, you have to keep going.
Wait, for the theme.
Wait, is that a theme?
That's what it says. The theme.
I don't agree with you because I put down character matters.
Okay. Anybody else?
And does anyone put down?
Anybody else?
There's facial issues going to school.
How about the evidence from the text? One.
Okay. Where's that?
Facial issues.
I have
Evidence from the text.
right there. So I have Jack because for my thing I had character matters. So I said Jackwell made Augie feel really bad because he was two-faced.
Well, this one says Augie's mom said he. Does that say Mitt or Mike? Go to school. Also, he tell us about his life.
Anybody?
Do you have one?
Mine is stupid, so.
Okay.
That's what we're just trying to
What's
talk
your last
about.
one?
Yeah, would you ask for the theme?
My boy was physical issues going to school.
What? Say, slow down, slow down.
My boy with physical issues going to school for the first time.
Okay, so which evidence?
Evidence?
Yeah.
We'll talk about surgeries and life before school.
Okay.
I didn't do anything.
What do you have? What did you do?
School doesn't matter, or school isn't chirping.
Okay. And why do you think that's a theme that is developing in the story?
Asking for is avoiding and making fun of him.
That's good. Okay.
He doesn't have anything down.
I got one.
This isn't my favorite.
What do you have down?
This isn't my favorite, but I remember what I have on mine. The main thing. Why do people not have this paper?
They don't have their.
Okay, let's go on to the conflict.
She just
My-
made one.
My thing. Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, I thought
The main theme of the story, I think, is that August wanted to go to school, but now he doesn't.
what'd you have for the evidence?
True fact.
My evidence is that he really wanted to go to school at first, and then because of the kids at school being mean, he doesn't want to go to school.
And what message do you think the author wants you to come away with because of her sharing that about Augie?
Who
Because
knows?
just knowing that, is that a message? Remember, the theme is the message, the main message.
That August make his own decisions.
Do you agree?
Yeah, good ideas.
I agree.
Everything is with decisions.
That's what Talia said.
I gotta remember what I wrote.
Talia.
I didn't do something.
We're on the theme.
Talia.
But I think everybody
We
was.
should probably do
Oh,
that.
this is her paper.
If you remember, you don't have to raise your hand, just speak.
Yeah, just said what you're gonna say.
Blur it out. I forgot.
What's someone's perspective?
No, let's make a conflict.
Oh, yeah, we got
My conflict is Julian going to school and making friends. That's, I don't know.
My conflict, I agree with Ava because he's trying to make friends and he's getting really.
And then how will we go on?
I agree with Ava and Reagan, but I think it's school and friends and all that. I agree with that.
Anybody else?
My main conflict
I agree.
is him and how he looks and how other people think of him. And my evidence is telling me my evidence.
Wait, what did you two say?
What's your conflict? Your claim?
We said that.
Mine says the conflict of the story is Augie getting bullied, and that he thought he had a friend, but he didn't. That's what I said. I didn't write that down.
My evidence is the book shows that is about him going through bullying because he's getting bullied right now really bad. Also, he's showing that he is really trying to. My evidence for the main comment is he has decided not to go to school because of what Julian and his friend said.
My explanation for the conflict is what Julian said and what other people are saying. My evidence was how there was staring and people were laughing at him once they saw him, and how people kept secrets and looking away and pointing.
My evidence says Augie walked into Jack Will.
Walked into
Jack.
Jack.
That doesn't even make sense.
Okay, so you've all given evidence. Does that mean that
doesn't
you?
make sense.
You've all given evidence. Does that mean you all agree about what the conflict is?
I agree, yeah.
This doesn't
I
make
agree
sense.
with most of them. Because most of them, I agree with most of them.
Okay, so
because they're all-
who can summarize first before we go on? Who can summarize or paraphrase what you say is a collective understanding about the conflict?
That we're all thinking about how Julian and his friends and Jack Will are talking bad about him, and Julian and Augie's getting really mad because Jack Will acted as his friend, and then it's not really, so now Augie wants to quit school. But yeah, I agree with Ava because he was really excited when like Jack Will became his friend, and he kind of turned on him a lot on Augie.
So do you think friendship is a conflict that is really pushing this story forward?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay, we are actually going to stop right here for discussion one. Don't move yet. And let's evaluate. What are some good things that happened in this first discussion? Lily. Okay, they interacted with each other. Did they really connect their thoughts with each other? Okay, so that's something we'll have to work. Sometimes you did well. Other times you just were blurting them out. And does that help us come to a really good collective understanding? No, so that's something round two we'll want to work on. Yes, what's something else, McKenna? Right, everyone participated because it's important that everyone's thoughts are valued and heard. Okay, what are some other good things? Bryson?
Not everyone, they made changes to what they had on their
Okay, well, and that's the one thing. We need to come prepared, and since you guys, I allowed you to look at someone else's paper in order to see the prompts. Yeah, then you weren't as prepared. So always coming to an academic discussion prepared is so important.
Because I got confused because they were all
Right, because
it was kind of annoying because they didn't even know what they didn't
right, and
have the
then it was a question-answer thing where they were reading instead of using what they had prepared to elaborate and enter the discussion.
I
Yes.
just have a question.
Yes.
Can I get a different paper?
No. Okay. So,
Oh, that makes sense.
could everyone on the outside circle hear the inside circle?
hopefully through the microphone.
Okay. Well, but it's important to be when you're in a conversation to be able to hear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So very quietly, outside circle come inside. Inside circle go outside. And remember, outside circle, the new outside circle, is not allowed to speak. And like Seth had mentioned, if you heard something from round one that you want to comment on, you can most certainly launch off that for your discussion. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, and we will have 7 minutes exactly before lunch. All right. One thing that, silence on the outside. One thing that I would urge this group to do is to really start on a good note with someone directing what you're talking about. Okay, and you don't have to necessarily go from the top to the bottom. You can choose one that you're really interested in and start the conversation with that direction. Okay?
Augie's view is different from Via's view. And the way the author describes it is because in Augie's world, everything is normal. He's normal. He knows he's different, but he knows like he's really just normal. But the way he sees it is that his mom just does stuff for him, because it's normal. But the way Via sees it is because she sees it as she does everything for him because he needs it and she doesn't. And so that's why she doesn't get mad or upset when her mom doesn't do stuff with her because she has to do stuff with him because she knows that he had to go through a lot more than she could ever imagine.
I sort of agree with Isaac. I mean, Augie knows that he's different. He knows that he thinks that he's not normal because everybody else doesn't look like him. So he thinks that whatever people see him, that they just pretend like they don't know, and that's why Augie looks down, is because so people can't see his face.
I kind of agree with you just a little bit, but I would have. Well, first my claim is like don't let anybody like bring you down just because of something that they say. You always have to Dia kept saying that you can't let them bother you and get you down. But I would say just like hold your head high and don't. And I would just say like don't like let your head fall down. Just like hold your head high and let everybody see you. Like they don't have to be afraid of you. I agree with Seth and Isaac and Millie, and like that he knows that his face isn't normal, but in the inside, he's actually just a really normal kid like any other kid, and like other people just like whisper behind his back and in front of his back, and like they're in front of him and stare and look rude at him.
I agree with you because in the chapter when he wears a mask, he's always so confident because nobody can see his face and they don't know who he is. So I think that
I agree with Wyatt because like in the book when it says on Halloween when he's wearing the mask, like everybody, like nobody knows who he is. When he saw somebody who's wearing the same costume as him, normally they would like avoid touching him, but the guy gave him a high five because they were wearing the same costume. And if Augie was there, if it wasn't Halloween, no one's wearing masks, I bet that Jack and Julian and the other guy wouldn't have said anything about it if they would have known he was there. But since he was there, or since they were all wearing masks, then they didn't know.
I agree with Isaac and Wyatt because he really likes Halloween because nobody knows who he is when he wears a mask. And like what Isaac said, when they wear the same costume, they high-five him. And I agree with Isaac because if Augie was wearing the Boba Fett costume, then they wouldn't have talked about him.
So what message, what theme develops from all of those interactions?
like people get treated differently because of
They don't know who they really are.
their looks and like their intelligence and like how their personality, like how good I guess people are good at stuff. Like if they're good at sports, they judge them by sportiness. They judge if they're good at math, they judge them by like rudeness or something.
I totally agree with that. And that's kind of the way it is. It's like they judge you like by how you're good at math, or even like groups. Like if you're sporty, you're an athletic, and if you're good at math, then you're a nerd. Really, but like everyone knows you, you're like popular. Yeah, and. What was I gonna say? I forgot. pretty awesome because he has a lot of confidence in him about who he is and why he is that.
I agree with you. In my perspective on the story is like obviously deal with other people and like how he sort of like is learning how to just face how people see him. And then I think when we get to the end, people will really like him and see how cool he is and just up to people from outside.
I agree with both of you because I sort of agree with Lily because he really doesn't have that much confidence in himself, but he's getting more and more confident every day that he's in school. So I think the school has really helped him become more confident in himself.
I kind of disagree with McKenna because like he was like he hasn't really gotten like used to everybody because like if he was getting used to him, then he would have like just went and told the teacher that Jack Bill said that if he looked like August that he would kill himself. He'd probably just go tell a teacher instead of instead of going to the nurse and saying that his stomach hurt.
I disagree with Betsy because sometimes when people like make fun of like another person, like that happened to me, I get like a stomach ache and I feel like I want to throw up. And that's probably what August did because he probably got the stomach ache and he just wanted to throw up.
I'd like to add on to Lily because because like when that happens, it just makes you feel really, really bad. And like sometimes you do feel like throwing up, and he did throw up when he got home.
So are you saying that those relationships with friends is the main conflict that's pushing this story forward?
Yeah, because
He just
We're starting.
because he is really pushing the story forward because he wants to because it's really getting into like the deepest part of the story, like why he should go to school and why he shouldn't.
Okay, so decisions are being made. Okay, just a minute. I know we're about half a minute past. We can go to lunch and then we will reevaluate and see what we learned from this experience.
We take our stuff.
Oh,